prayed every night that he would escape. Hi, everyone. I am Jamie Lee Curtis.
And I'm David Gordon Green.
And today we are sitting down with Moviefone to talk about a couple scenes from a little indie film we are involved with called Halloween. We are going to take a look at an iconic scene from the original film.
And then we'll break down another one from the upcoming chapter of Halloween, which I directed. And stars a lovely woman to my right.
So let's do this. So the first clip, this is right at the end of the original movie Halloween, and it features Laurie Strode coming basically face to face again with Michael Myers. I haven't seen this, by the way, in a long time. So this was a house in West Hollywood, I think. Oh, I can't remember. Can't remember if it was in Hollywood or Pasadena, this one. This is, this is really the moment when this whole thing, this was intense. I remember being in the movie theater watching this. This was intense.
So we studied the scene very technically for our film, and I'm not sure if you'd pick up on it, but as we get to know Laurie Strode and her life 40 years later, she has built her own bedroom to be an identical replica of the bedroom from the climax of the 1978 film, closet included.
Because it had such a profound traumatic effect on her, and yet is the very reason she's alive.
Part of the fun for me is trying to take elements of the original, the psychology of your character, the art direction of the film, and be able to sometimes very overtly and obviously, and other times playfully and subconsciously acknowledge that. So, for example, in our film, I don't know that anybody would actually pick up on the fact that the square footage and the art direction details are identical, but people that have obsessed over the film, as I have over the years, and that know it so well, I think will find an appreciation for those type of efforts.
The fact that Laurie figures out something to do with a wire hanger is the sort of self-reliant power, really, that this young woman had, which is why I think she became kind of the character that people always talk to me about, is because of that moment, taking a wire hanger and poking somebody, and you find out she's very intelligent at the beginning of the movie, and then, here's the sort of culmination. The problem with this scene is literally what's about to happen in about 8 seconds. I don't put it down. I throw it down because, once again, it's in the script, and, why am I throwing it? It doesn't make any sense, John. Why can't we have John Carpenter here?
Leave it right by him.
Just leave it by him.
But then he does, Michael, it's 1978, but he does a lot of Pilates, so watch the way that he...
Oh, I know, his core is amazing. Yeah. But this is so sweet.
Come here.
Look at her.
Just listen to me.
One of the things that I
go
found
down the stairs,
in this movie
out the front door.
Embedded
I
in
want you
your
to go down the street to
character
Mackenzie's house. I want you to tell them to call the police and tell them to send them over here. Now, do you understand me?
In this moment of authority,
do as I say.
Laurie going from academic high school sweetheart schoolgirl into authoritative, disciplined
warrior
trauma victim. Warrior was really
this. I remember.
There he goes.
I know. When I saw that, and then his head turns right on the beat.
Well, I like it.
I know. I remember seeing that in a theater, and people just went. And it's so silent. Is that it? That's all we're showing? Oh, you people.
Now we have the great pleasure of talking about a scene from the new film. We debuted this footage at the San Diego Comic-Con this summer and had a blast watching the audience view it for the first time and take a look. So this sequence, we actually spent a day choreographing and rehearsing this. Became very complicated. You'll notice a very subtle shout out to Halloween 2 with the young cowboy in his boombox. Throughout this movie, we claim to only honor and in our sequel vernacular, we're a sequel to Halloween 1, but throughout this we'll see throughout this movie, we'll see
This
little
was
moments of
amazing. The lighting
two
here
and
was
beyond.
beautiful.
And this, so as soon as he picks up this hammer here, we begin our fluid master that took a great deal of preparation and rehearsal.
It's reminiscent of the opening shot of the movie where you see Deborah Hill's hand in the clown costume grab the knife.
Right. And so I always have the opportunity, like this is a quick moment from a clip from the show Voyagers, which was my favorite show as a child with Mino Palouse and John Eric Hexum, alluding to, here we go, where Michael steps into the house for his first off-camera kill.
And I love the work on the table and the chair. When I first saw this, I was like, oh, that's amazing.
It was always interesting with this scene in particular, how gory, or through the whole movie, how gory do we play it, how on camera, when do we go off camera, when do we do surprise, when do we do suspense. And this sequence, we kind of wanted to make sure we were pacing out this long scene into various opportunities of Michael's trick-or-treating enthusiasm.
How many takes did you end up doing of this?
11 takes, and this is the last one. So it took us 11 takes on our night to fulfill this ambition. And then it was amazing too, once John delivered the score, hearing this, it's the first time you really feel the Halloween theme fulfilled and as it come to life for his evening's adventures. Was an amazing experience for me, just putting it to picture for the first time and feeling it, although we'd play it to set quite a bit.
When they did the opening shot in the original Halloween, I sat there and watched it take place. And again, there were many takes, and then there is that one that happens. Do you remember, like when you did a few of them, where did you have to cut like in the middle of a couple of them, or did you run them all? We
ran them all to learn from our errors and try to be able to embrace. There's certain things like we're not always behind him, we're not always in a subjective perspective. Sometimes he walks in and out of it, and those were conversations that throughout that evening of doing these takes we played with a little bit. So
this was just
get a little
terrifying.
experimental.
This is when I saw this for the first time. Oh, please.
And just being able to try to engineer lighting where he can fall right into a reflection, but you don't see the camera reflection. This was a pain in the ass, basically, Jamie. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Make sure you go see our movie Halloween in theaters on October 19th.
And pretend you already knew all of this cool stuff we told you when you see it with your friends, and then you can say to them, oh, well, this is the cool stuff that I know and you don't, and people will think you're really cool. And
yeah, that's right. Just lie to your friends.
Absolutely.